Hello mushroom growers, this is Winger. How are you guys doing today? So we have a fine day. My name is again Winger from Aguilar Healthy Mushroom Farm, and today we are going to talk about the most famous and known mushroom here in the Philippines and the rest of the world. But before that, let me thank all my subscribers who helped me reach 1,000. So thank you. And if you haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button and hit the notification bell for more videos. So again, thank you guys. Now the question is, well, what is the most famous mushroom here in the Philippines or abroad? Well, locally it is known as oyster mushroom. This is an edible fungi. If you think it is Pleurotus Florida, Florida is a variety actually, but this is also called Pleurotus Ostreatus.
Sa akin, 17
Yes,
tinatayaan
that's
ko.
correct. This usually grows in a hardwood and straw. And here in the Philippines, it is commercially grown in either sawdust or kusot, or actually a product of hardwood or cutting or milling woods. So with some mixes such as molasses, darak, or the byproduct of milled rice, and some lime and others, while the other substrate is a mixture of sawdust and rice straw in a 70-30 ratio.
Lumabas na yung kahapon na
70%
11 tsaka 7.
rice straw, 30% sawdust or kusot. But let's step back and know more about our favorite mushroom,
17,
the
27
Pleurotus
tinatayaan ko.
Ostreatus. These are scientific names, but actually it came from the Greek word flora, P-L-A-R-A, which means side, or otto, which means ear. So Pleurotus means side ear, and what about Ostreatus? This is also a Greek word for oyster, so it simply means side ear oyster for Pleurotus Ostreatus. Okay. We usually differentiate mushrooms by their appearance. So we have white oyster, pink oyster, gray oyster, king oyster, and nowadays
Mushroom.
these are all oyster mushrooms.
Mushroom na
All
sinabawan.
edible fungi. But if you have heard about Pleurotus Ostreatus or Pleurotus Florida, it is the variety of our favorite mushroom. So now you know. Okay, so from our small farm, we chose to grow the variety of Pleurotus Florida or Pleurotus Ostreatus Florida, or the white oyster mushroom. Our substrate is composed of 70% rice straw and 30% sawdust or kusot, and no other mixes. From the preparation, rice straw is usually soaked in water for 24 to 48 hours, while the sawdust does not require composting since it is a fine sawdust from coconut, which is usually composted based on its moisture content. So it's from a cocoa lumber. And speaking of moisture content, the typical moisture content should be at least 40%. So that's based on experiment. The rice straw will be shredded into smaller pieces, usually half to 1 inch cut. So we have our DIY shredder, which will mix and cut the substrate for us. So if you haven't seen my video about our DIY shredder mixer, have the pleasant to search for the DIY shredder mixer of our substrate. Okay, and after that, after cutting, mixing of the yami and kusot or the rice straw and sawdust, now the substrate will be ready for bagging process, or it is the process of putting it inside a PP bag or the polypropylene bag. It is a more environmental friendly plastic rather than a plastic or a polymer plastic. What you are seeing at the moment are fruiting bags or fruiting bodies of oyster mushroom right after pasteurization. So usually pasteurization process takes 4 to 6 hours of exposure of these fruiting bags at a 62 to 90 degrees Celsius of temperature. So this process actually kills unnecessary bacteria that will be or that will also eat nutrients from the fruiting body. So that way, this is the typical media which our mushroom will love to grow. Mycelia will definitely grow. If you are seeing these white part in this fruiting bag, these are mycelia from the fungi. So it's really nice to see these oyster mushroom growing. These are pinhead mushrooms you are looking at right now, and after that you will see this ear-shaped oyster mushroom. As you can see, there are gills. So these are genus type of gilled mushroom. So guys, if you want to know more about growing mushrooms, look for the other videos we have created for you. So we are not yet that long in this industry, but at least you know where to start, how we started, and maybe someday we can definitely help others. So that's our goal. Okay, so right now what you are seeing are oyster mushrooms, or the Pleurotus florida, that we're actually growing. So these are not perfect yet, so just a full disclosure, these are not perfect grown mushrooms yet, but I can tell you that we're already growing and processing our very own mushroom. So if you haven't subscribed, click that subscribe button. Thank you guys. You have a good day and happy mushroom growing.